What's up everyone, my name is Abby, I like to read, and today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I read in the month of October. So I read a total of 13 books in the month of October, and I DNF'd one. So that is a second time in a row, or second month in a row, that I have DNF'd a book. Oopsies, sorry not sorry, I just don't have time to read a book that I am not enjoying. Okay, so I will go ahead and get started with the audiobooks that I read this month. The first three books I'm going to talk about are the last three books in the Air Awakens Vortex Chronicles series. I feel like I've been in the middle of this series for months and months and months, but I read the third, fourth, and fifth book. The third book is Failed Future. And these are all by Elise Kova. I've read, I don't know what I was going to say. This was a reread. I read it maybe a couple years ago, or listened to. I gave it 2 stars. I don't remember what I originally rated it. I think it was higher than 2 stars, but I was just getting a little bit bogged down by this series. I'm not connecting to the characters. I don't really care what happens to them. I really don't like the love interest. I just think he adds like nothing to the story. So yeah, I gave this one 2 stars. The third book in the series is Sovereign Sacrifice. I gave this 3 stars. It was better than the previous book, but still not connecting to the characters. And then the fifth and final book is Crystal Caged. I gave this book 3 stars. It wrapped up very nicely. Like everything fell into place perfectly, and it was all kind of like a quick resolution. It just felt a little bit rushed and weird. Still didn't connect to the characters, so I gave it 3 stars. The next 2 books are the first and second book in the Shattered Kingdom series by Angelina J. Streifert, I believe. The first book is called Shattered Kingdom. I gave this book 4 stars. I thought it was really, really good. I thought the age gap was a little bit weird between the 2 characters, and they're not currently love interests, but you can tell that it's going to end up that way. I think the girl is 17 and the guy is like 400 years old? I don't know, but I don't like it. Why do fantasy books do this? Like, at least make her 18. At least make her the legal age in at least America. I don't know what the legal age of other countries are, but like, even 18 would still be icky with a 400-year-old man, but at least make it legal in some countries. Oh my gosh. And I guess nothing illegal happened because nothing happened between them, but you can tell that something's gonna happen, and I don't know, it just felt weird. It felt weird, and I understand that this is just something that we accept in fantasy books, but it is weird, and I don't like it very much. The second book in this series is Wicked Crown, and I gave this book 4 stars. I, usually in books that have dual POVs, not even just like 2 main characters, but like maybe 4 or 5 characters, I find myself like not enjoying most of them and want to get back to like the main protagonist. But in these, I enjoyed pretty much all of them. There's some that I don't enjoy as much as the others, but all of them like kept me engaged, especially the ending. Something that I love about fantasy books that have multiple POVs is when they're all in separate places, but the climax of their like individual stories are all happening at the same time. So like, this person's over here, things are heating up, there's like a war happening, and this one's over here and they're having their own personal struggles, and this person's over here and they're fighting someone, and none of these stories like directly relate, but they are all like building and building and building, and it just like makes your heart go like, oh my gosh, and then you just jump around like, oh, we see what that happens over there, and then oh my gosh, we're gonna jump over here, and I just really enjoy it. So that had one of those moments, and it was just really exciting to read or listen to. The next audiobook that I read is the second book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series by Carissa Broadbent. This book is called The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. What I didn't realize with this book is that this series is going to be like maybe 5 or 6 books. However, this second book is the last book in the POV of our current main characters. So I didn't know that, so I finished the book and I was like, wow, this ended really nicely. I wonder what they're gonna do in the third book. And then I realized that the third book is gonna be completely different characters, and that's fine. But I would like a little bit of a warning next time before I get attached to characters. But no, I am very excited to explore more in that world. There are also, I think there's like a novella and then a standalone of this same series. We met some of those characters actually in this book, but I haven't read it yet. The audiobook, even though the physical book is currently out, the audiobook doesn't come out until I think January of next year. So I'm gonna wait and listen to the audiobook. Just to like spread it out a little bit, because I know the next book in this series isn't coming out for probably a bit. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, and I am very excited to read the next book in the series, even if it is a different point of view. Okay, now I'm going to get to the physical books. I will start with the books that I had chosen from my TBR jar. One of them is actually the book that I DNF'd. And that book is, let me see, what was it? A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I was so surprised that I didn't enjoy this book because I've heard really great things about it. It's supposed to be like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, like similar to ACOTAR, but I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like the 2 main characters with their names. Ren and Harper. I didn't like them. I liked Gray. I liked him. Why can't we have a Gray book? But I did not like Ren and Harper. It felt very aged down to me, and I just didn't enjoy it. So I DNF'd about 50% of the way, and I will be selling my book. I don't have it with me. I think I already put it in my unhaul pile, so sorry. My other 2 books that I chose from my TBR jar were Girls of Paper and Fire and Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Nhan. This one was a reread. I had to reread it in order to read this one because I forgot everything that happened. I really enjoyed this book the first time I read it, and I also enjoyed it the second time that I read it. I gave this one 5 stars. It's really just a beautiful, beautiful book. Now this one, I still liked it. I gave it 4 stars, but it felt like a completely different story, writer, genre than the first book. It all of a sudden there were like characters that were added for comedic relief, which this is a book about like a serious topic. There's like sexual assaults, and there's like essentially like sex trafficking, and all of a sudden we have like a funny character that's like there to like ease the tension. I don't know, it just felt really out of place. I enjoyed the character. I'm all here for a comedic relief character. It felt very out of place, so that was just kind of weird. It just felt like a totally different vibe than the first book. I am currently reading the third book, so we will see what I think of that one. Alright, and then a book that I believe I started last month, or I mean, we're in November, so I started in September and finished in October. Did I say that this is my October wrap-up, or did I say November? If I said November, I mean October. This is just a late video, I'm sorry. But City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. This is the 6th book in the Mortal Instruments, also the last book in the Mortal Instruments. I also thought this book wrapped up way too nicely. Like, what happened to killing main characters? Why? I mean, I don't enjoy that, but like, you can't even kill off your secondary characters? Like, it just felt, everyone got their happy ending, and it was just a little weird. So yeah, I give it 4 stars. It was just a little bit too good of an ending. The next book that I have is actually a graphic novel, and that is Lore Olympus by Rachel Smith. This is volume 1. I had heard, like, I had seen this book everywhere when this first came out. Apparently it's like from Webtoon and they made it into a book. I gave it 3 stars. I think it's gonna take me a bit to get into the style of graphic novel again. Usually when I read graphic novels, they are like the graphic novel adaptation of a book, so I know the story. But I understand that it is hard to dive deep into a story when it's a graphic novel, because you just don't have that much space to actually like go into detail of things. So it seems very surface level. But I did buy the second one. I do want to continue. I think it's just going to take me a little bit to get into the headspace of just kind of enjoying it as it is, because it's not a chapter novel book. It is a graphic novel, and I have to go into the mind space of graphic novel when I read it. The next book is A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. I've been reading this for so long. I finally finished it. This is a reread. I was just reading it to tab it and underline my favorite quotes. I gave this book 4 stars. I don't remember what I originally gave it the first time I read it a long time ago. But it was either 4 or 5 stars. But if it was 5 stars, I knocked it down to 4 just because it took me so long the second time around that it's like, surely if it was a 5-star read, it wouldn't take me like more than 6 months to read it. So yeah, but I mean, it's Sarah J. Maas. I still loved it. Come on, guys. All right, and the last 2 books I don't think were on my October TBR, but I read them anyways because I'm naughty. And those are Aurora Rising and Aurora Burning. These are both rereads. I wanted to reread them in order to finally buy and read the 3rd book. I love these books. They're so good. They are by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. They also did the Illuminae trilogy over there. But I gave this book 5 stars, this book 4 stars, just because, you know, typical second book syndrome where it's not as good as the first book. You know how it goes. But I still really enjoyed it, and I just love the characters. Once again, one of those, like, POV books that usually I wouldn't like the POV, but I just love all the characters in this book. They are, like, my family, and they are just so sweet. And yeah, I'm gonna read I already bought the 3rd one, so I'm gonna read it soon, hopefully in the next couple of months, and I'm excited to finally finish the series, because I don't know how it ends. I haven't actually seen spoilers about it, which normally I spoil myself, but I don't know how it ends, so I'm excited to find out. So those were all the books that I read in the month of October. This video is late. I am sorry. I don't know. I have no excuse. No excuse. It's just late. I'm a procrastinator, okay? Sue me. Please don't. But that is it for this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you've read this book. Comment down below some book recommendations, because I need more books. I don't need them. I want them. Let's be real. Subscribe if you want to see more content, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. It just felt very outplaced. Outplaced. Is that the word? It's in the month of October. And the 3rd, or the, no.